This is Chapter 6 of the United Soccer Coaches Convention session on the benefits of sand for grass players and the discussion of the U.S. Beach Soccer National Championship. This chapter will focus on goalkeeping, bike kicks, and that discussion of the National Championship. Goalkeeping, the most important player on a beach soccer team, and an opportunity to develop your keepers in a way that you just can't any other place. The goalkeeper doesn't have any goal kicks. Everything comes from a goal clearance, which comes from his hands. I like to call him the quarterback. He is the one that sets the rhythm of play, and he is the one that does all the initial distribution, and everything at this point pretty much comes through him. As a coach, or if you are a goalkeeper, always have your water bottle and a towel right near you, because sand will come, and it will get in your eyes, and it's just part of the game, and you get used to it. It's really not that big of a deal. The thing that's changed the most about the goalkeepers, and in particularly the one on the bottom there, the Iranian keeper, they become some of the most dangerous players in the game. A goalkeeper that can play with his feet is someone who can shoot and score and also changes the tactical lineup. Most teams that are playing will kind of run with a futsal type 3-1 with 3 in the back, 1 up top, with the outside wingers moving forward. When you have a goalkeeper that can use the ball and lift it to himself, because one thing you do have to know is that the time limit for the ball to be inside your own penalty box in your possession is only 4 seconds, whether you're a defender or a goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper is going to move the ball out, and let's just say he plays it wide to his left side. An attacking player from the opposing team approaches. Now, the ball is going to go back to the keeper. Now, he has a choice. It can go back to his hands, because the keeper can handle the ball once every possession, or it can come back to his feet, and he can lift it and push it outside the box. That attacker now has to make a choice. The goalkeeper is now bringing the ball up to his thighs, and he's juggling it on his thighs, and that attacker has to decide, is he going to stay with his player or go to the goalkeeper? Well, if he goes to the goalkeeper, then the goalkeeper is going to volley it over his head to his outside left player again, and now there's a numerical advantage moving forward with the game. If the attacking player stays, that goalkeeper therefore can move up the field, taking it off his thighs, and then shoot it at goal. What it basically does is it allows a team to go from a 3-1 into a 2-2 box. I won't go too much into the formational changes where the outside player runs forward, and it will help relieve pressure out of the back, which is really one of the things that made Brazil such an advantageous team, and the Iranian team for that matter, in the last World Cup. But this has been the greatest change in the last 10 years of the game, whereas a goalkeeper was just a goalkeeper in the past. Iran in the 2006 World Cup against the U.S. was the first time that I witnessed a goalkeeper who was lifting the ball and shooting and scoring. Now it's become prolific across all teams, and goalkeepers are basically, it's almost necessary. You know, if your goalkeeper isn't lifting the ball, he's not a player that should be playing on your national team. It should be the first thing that he learns. From the standpoint of overhead and scissor kicks, we've talked about the lifting of the ball being so critically important, and we also talked about how this is pretty much a sport that's non-contact at this point. A player that has possession of the ball with his back to goal and can lift it in the air in his possession cannot be touched by a defender. If a player is in the mode of performing a bike kick and is touched by a defender, whether it's during the lift or it's while the ball's in the air or gets hit by his foot or anything through the progression of the bike kick, it is a foul and therefore a free kick from where the infraction takes place. Whether in this case you're lifting the ball to yourself and on the top frame he's lifting it off to the side, he knows the defender's on his right shoulder, so he comes across and actually kicks it over his left. The defender ended up getting a handball in this situation and gave up a free kick. Or with the Brazilians on the bottom, the player on the left side lifted the ball to himself, and I do believe he actually scored on that shot against Italy, or against Switzerland, the Brazilian taking a ball that's in the air and scissor kicking it. All of these things about us lifting balls and performing bike kicks and such is giving greater mastery of ball manipulation and being able to have more confidence of hitting balls out of the air by creating a scenario where players are able to work on this technique on a surface that's forgiving. It's soft. It gives your players the chance of being able to learn how to land and also being able to address these balls coming to them in the air. The technique of learning how to lift, this is Tanner Ackle. At the time, this was about a year and a half ago, so we're talking early 2017. At the time, Tanner, from our standpoint, was one of the best people doing this technique, so we did this GIF of several photos that we took of him. You can see how he bends his knees, his eyes on the ball, and he comes through and has a nice soft landing. Tanner now has been chosen for the U.S. national team and has had the opportunity of representing his country. As you're looking to teach your players how to do a bike kick, you start on the ground. These are the 5 stages of the bike kick. Working with our players right here is Graven Pacheco. He's the all-time leading goal scorer from CONCACAF, playing for the Costa Rican national team. Paxton Scott on the ground, as you can see, and Luisa Mesa now working on stage 2 of the bike progression, obviously weren't very good at it at this point. This video was taken in early 2017. And in 2018, both players actually played in the European Championships. Luisa Mesa played with Sporting out of Lisbon. Paxton played for Portsmouth out of England. Both of them had very good tournaments and have continued to excel at the sport. But as you can see, as you get into lifting, you have different options, like Pacheco here is showing. It's a scenario where you lift and go to thigh, or you lift and go to foot. And as you move along through the progressions, you eventually have someone who just sends a ball over to you across the field, and you start learning how to hit the ball out of the air and getting that opportunity of learning how to do the bike kick. It's not as hard as it looks. I had kids that actually did it in the same day on the first time I taught them how to. All of the stuff that we're talking about is great, and it's things that you can do for your players to be able to make them improve very quickly and gain more confidence and have more fun. You know, it's something different. But at the same time, whereas so many think about it as being something different that they do every once in a while, if you were to put it into your programming, you would see a vast improvement. So what we're saying is get your players in the sand, train them, get them to move around and gain the experience. Get them in the beach tournament. We're obviously trying to spread the word about the U.S. Beach Soccer National Championship, which is pro-am beach soccer events, as well as many of our affiliates, and partners that are working with us to build out a true national championship where all the best teams in the country can get together. We're open to working with anyone. We have an open dialogue, and as long as people are willing to have that conversation in a positive way, we're more than interested in moving the sport forward. The national championship is going to have a total of 14 youth divisions as well as 3 adult divisions. The adults will be men's, women's, and co-ed, and the youth will be U13s through U19s on both girls and boys. It's a great opportunity. The teams that actually win their tournaments will have a very cheap way of going to the nationals. Eventually we're hoping to make it so that they don't have to pay anything. At this point it's only a referee fee unless they qualify from an event that's outside of the realm. We will accept all champions of all events. We just need clarification and for you to be able to let us know that. And also we will accept wild cards if they have a history playing beach and want to compete and see how well they do. Who makes up the U.S. Beach Soccer National Championship? Beach Soccer Worldwide has given us their blessing as we are trying to grow the sport at the end of the day for them and for the world. Pro-Am Beach Soccer, which is our organization. The Beach Soccer Championships, that is, in my opinion, one of the best events that you can find anywhere in the world, which will actually in 2019 be hosting their first Beach Soccer Worldwide international event. Boston Beach Soccer, located in Massachusetts, as well as the Beach Bumps in Florida, and Prime Pro Events, which has some of the brightest minds in sports and former director of national championships for U.S. Youth Soccer, USYSA. And as well, this year our current qualifiers in 2019 are in these locations, whereas we are actually going to be adding more possibly. We're in ongoing conversations with people throughout the country that are involved in beach soccer, and we're trying to get everyone on the same page to be able to move the sport in a positive direction. The partners that we have currently include Massachusetts Youth Soccer Association, Cal North, Cal South, Illinois Youth Soccer Association. The perennial of all of these was the South Florida United Youth Soccer Association, which is the largest league in South Florida. They were the first ones to really jump on the wagon, utilizing this as an opportunity for player development. And now we're seeing many of the actual state associations, including New Jersey this year, who are making big strides and putting on clinics and trying to give opportunities for coaches to be able to learn about this, to getting them better and stronger players through really less work and less time. Now, the possibilities in 2020 are pretty vast. Many of these cities have asked us to come in and run events, and we're going to be looking at growing these events through either partnerships with other organizations in the beach soccer realm or growing ourselves at a sustainable rate. We're very excited about 2020 as we already have new partnerships in the works, and we'll see how those develop. We'd like to give special thanks to Maciek. I'm not going to destroy his last name for him, but Maciek has been vital in capturing the energy and the emotions of the game. He himself is a beach soccer player and fan and has attended many of the World Cups and is our staff photographer at all of our events on the West Coast, and hope to utilize him for many times and many years to come. He's an advocate of the game, and you can find him there on the left side. He's an amazing photographer that does MLS games and all sorts of different professional and international matches. So we're lucky to have such a skilled shooter in our grasp and working with us to grow the game. Special thanks to Joan Cusco and his staff at Beach Soccer Worldwide, Angie Ellison at Prime Pro Sports, that is, Jeff Van Dusen for giving us the opportunity of presenting this in a way and giving me the avenue of putting this information together in a way that it can be presented, as well as Andrew Dyer from the United Soccer Coaches, Jacob Greven, obviously from the Costa Rican national team, Tanner Ackle, Kylie Quigley, Luisa Mesa, and as well as my associate Luis Palafox, who have been vital in being able to move all of this forward and getting this information out to you in this way. We'd like to obviously give you the opportunity of following us on our social media platforms. This is obviously on Your Beach Soccer on YouTube. You can contact myself directly at any time. Your input is important to us, as it says, and only with the work and coming together of people can we move this in a way that everyone can really understand massive opportunity that we have in our grasp to improve the sport of soccer, not just beach soccer, but improve the status of players and the improvement of their skills and their concentration and everything about them. Thank you very much. We will hopefully be seeing you at the convention in Baltimore in 2020. And again, thank you to United Soccer Coaches. And we look forward to seeing this education go on and for people to utilize it in a way that produces the best players that we've seen in a generation. Thank you.